We recently stayed at the Corralejo Bay Hotel in Fuerteventura. This was a last minute squeeze in some extra days away kind of a trip. So while we usually choose a higher grade of hotel, we were definitely aiming to watch the budget on this one. So opted for this 4-star option from Barcelo. I think it's really important when reviewing hotels to be really clear about your usual type of travel because of course that's going to impact your impressions. So here was our wish list. This trip was happening in the school Easter holidays, and with a grown-up family, we definitely wanted something that was just adult only. Hey, we don't have anything against kids on holiday. We've been there, we've done that, we've got several t-shirts, but when it's just the two of us, we do just quite like that adult only vibe. So adult only, top of the list. We wanted it to be walkable to some local bars, restaurants, so close to local amenities. We're pool people, so we wanted a great pool deck, pool area. We wanted some good food. We weren't looking for a luxury option, but we definitely wanted some decent food in the hotel. We wanted our room to feel updated with a good aesthetic. We didn't want anything that felt old or dated. And yes, we were going for a slightly less luxurious hotel than maybe we would normally go for. So we were still looking for it to have a bit of those extra amenities, a bit of the premium feel without the full price tag of the full luxury 5-star experience. The lobby bar and entertainment area is set to the back of the reception area, and you walk through it to go out onto a terrace and then down onto the pool deck. The pool deck is a lovely open area with plenty of well-maintained planting to break up the concrete areas. Like most hotel pool areas, you'll quickly work out where the sun is at different times of the day, but we never had any issue getting a sun lounger, and they aren't so crammed in together that there's always plenty of space to rearrange them, turn them round to find or hide from the sun, whatever you need. There are plenty of umbrellas around too, which are on wheels, so they're really easy to move around. There are 2 pools. One is heated, which in late March, early April was ideal. I have to confess, I didn't venture into the unheated one, but the heated pool was a lovely temperature. There's also an intermittent jacuzzi effect at one end of the heated pool, but it's part of the pool, so it's not hot tub temperatures. And there's also a small circular, shallow lounging pool. The pool area is closed off until 9 a.m, at least this was the case in spring, and this definitely helped to deter the early bird sunbed hoggers. Pool towels are provided, but rather than an endless supply, you're limited to 1 per person, which you can switch out every 3 days or so. I thought I'd hate this, and because towels don't dry out as quickly in the spring temperatures. However, it's so much more eco-friendly than those huge bins of often barely used pool towels that you see at many other hotels, and the massively lower laundry costs are such a huge saving for the hotel, hopefully keeping the room rates down. The hotel interiors, the areas where all the rooms come off, have a very particular architectural style that I quite liked. I've read reviews where folks have said that it reminded them of a prison block, and yes, I can see why, but it was really well maintained with attractive planting, and it was light and airy, definitely preferable in my book to your usual long, bland, boring, often dark hotel corridor. I definitely recommend taking a wander around to the corridors serving the rooms at the front of the hotel for some fabulous views across the atrium and then out of the windows across the resort of Corralejo, the marina, and across the water to Isla de Lobos with Lanzarote in the distance. Some really fabulous views. The hotel also has a spa. I didn't use it personally, so can't give a review on it, but the treatment menu looked like there were lots of options and prices seemed very reasonable compared to many other similar hotel spas. There also seemed to be a few folk around the hotel, possibly locals or visitors staying elsewhere, on day passes, so maybe worth checking out if you don't end up staying at the hotel but still would like to have use of a spa. There's a gym too. Again, I didn't use it, but my husband assured me that it was pretty decent as hotel gyms go. It's also located adjacent to the pool deck, so nice and light and airy, unlike some hotel gyms, which for some reason often end up in a dingy basement. So on to the hotel food. We'd opted for the all-inclusive rate because on this trip we knew that we were going to be spending most of our shortish stay relaxing by the pool and not really venturing too far from the hotel. We felt that the supplement for the all-inclusive rate over the bed and breakfast only rate offered really great value for money, even if we ended up going out to eat dinner on a couple of the nights. Breakfast and dinner are both buffet service. The breakfast options are fairly typical of this type of hotel. It's often difficult to capture footage in restaurants as I'd hate to intrude on guests' privacy, but hopefully this will give you an idea. There's plenty of fresh fruit, cereals, meats and cheeses, bakery items and a selection of hot food. The Brits are well catered for, but it's not an overly imaginative selection. It's always a challenge keeping things hot and that's no different here. However, there's a fresh omelette station and I found that to be a really good option. Theme nights for dinner offer a bit of variety too. Lunch is available at the poolside bar restaurant. It's a lovely spot with a really good sized menu which has prices for those not on the all-inclusive tariff, but as you can see from the AI column on the menu, it's mostly all included at the all-inclusive rate, as well as all your drinks, whether they're soft drinks or alcoholic. We thought this offered really great value for money as the food and the drinks here were very good. So what about the room? I wanted to compare the room we actually got with the image shown on the hotel website because we all know how different they can sometimes be. So this was our actual room and it was pretty close to the image. It had twin beds pushed together rather than a king bed, but other than that, it was pretty much identical. And there was a lot to like. The room was light, it was airy, the big blanket box at the bottom of the bed was great storage for throwing bags and all sorts into. TV is standard, we had complimentary bottles of water every day. That might have been because I signed up to the My Barcelo programme, but complimentary water daily, wine glasses, bottle opener, hot drink station. So many hotels now are not providing tea and coffee as standard, but this one still does. So yeah, some nice little touches in the room. We also had a mini fridge in the room, so that was ideal for keeping drinks, water cold. And what was nice about spring temperatures is that you could have the patio doors right open and feel the breeze coming in without always having to have the aircon on. And yeah, pretty nice view from our balcony. We had a couple of big palm trees, bit in the way, but actually it gave us a bit more privacy and we were fine with that in the end. Bathrooms are fully refurbished in light and bright white and pale grey tones. There's a rain shower plus a handheld shower with some nicely scented shower gel and shampoo and conditioner in the shower area, along with hand wash and lotion in the vanity area, which is always handy to know if you're travelling light. The rooms have plenty of storage with 2 full-sized side-by-side wardrobes. There are duvet quilts available if it's too chilly for just a sheet and space to tuck away your luggage too. There's plenty of hanging spaces with a plentiful supply of hangers. There's a safe available, however there is a daily charge, which is really unusual in this grade of hotel, but there you are. Another room type you might want to consider is the deluxe swimming pool view rooms with direct access to the pool. They didn't seem to be occupied at all during our stay as none had furniture on their terrace, but useful to note that you do have key entry on your patio door. Be aware that if you don't opt for a pool view room, then you'll be overlooking the surrounding streets. It's a very quiet, mostly residential area, but not really much to look at. Also worth noting is that rooms advertised as sea view, while they do technically have a sea view in that you can see the sea from them, they may actually be overlooking the car park with the sea only visible in the distance. My best tip is if you're not keeping the budget to an absolute minimum, then upgrade a little, pay the extra and go for a pool view. It's an adult only hotel, the pool will never be noisy, there's no music around the pool except when the water aerobics is on, and that's another story I'll come to later. You may also be considering a deluxe room with premium terrace access. It might be useful to note that you can't directly access this terrace from your balcony. It has to be accessed from a side door using keycard entry. It's a very sunny terrace, but it's a long way from the pool, so you can't just pop in the pool if you need to cool off. So what about evenings at the Barcelo Corralejo Bay? Well, it's pretty low-key, but there is some sort of entertainment each night from 9 until 10:30 p.m. in the lobby bar. Look, it's not everybody's thing, and we didn't go every night, but it did create a bit of a gathering space to round off the day. The bar has a pretty comprehensive cocktail list, and as we were on the all-inclusive package, all drinks were included. But for paying guests, prices were pretty reasonable, with beers starting at €2.50 and cocktails at €7 or €8. And of course, as is always the case in European resorts, they were always a generous pour. How about the resort of Corralejo itself? Once a traditional fishing village, it has grown to become one of the two main holiday resorts on Fuerteventura. However, it's all relative and it's still pretty small by Spanish holiday resort standards. It's got a bit of a boho surfer vibe, with water sports playing a big part of life here. The gently shelving beaches are great for families, and there's plenty of shopping on offer, with everything from big brands like Mango and Natura to smaller independent stores. And if that wasn't enough, you can take the half-hour ferry trip over to Lanzarote for the day. If you like to be active on holiday, get out for a good walk or a run, then there are plenty of opportunities to do that here. There are walkways along the beachfront, and if you turn right out of the hotel and head down towards the beach, there's a great walk along the shoreline where you can loop back around through the quiet residential streets, taking in all the beautiful holiday villas at that end of the resort, and pick one out for your next trip. So, did the Barcelo Corralejo Bay tick all our boxes? Who's this hotel for, and would I recommend it? So first off, adult only hotel, tick. We were told the hotel was 70 to 80% full during our stay. I'd say the guests consisted of 80% couples travelling as a two, 10% couples travelling as a group of 4 or 6, and the remaining guests were either families with adult kids or singles. I reckon the majority of guests were over the age of 50, possibly over 60, with only a handful of young couples. The location gets a big tick from me. It's a 2-minute walk in one direction to the main shopping area, with quiet beach walks within 5 minutes in the other direction. The beachfront bars and restaurants are an easy 10 to 15-minute stroll away. Good pool area? Yep, another big tick. There's no poolside waiter service, but the bar is only a few steps away. I've seen comment online that folks didn't like having to carry drinks back down the steps to the pool deck, and I can see with older guests, maybe with mobility issues, where that might be a problem, but we were absolutely fine with it. It's worth noting that there is a ramp to one side if accessibility is a real challenge. Good food? Yes, all in all, it's a tick. Breakfast was good, hot buffets are always a challenge, but the cold breakfast on offer was fresh and plentiful. I reckon lunch at the poolside restaurant was the best offering, as it's a la carte and everything is prepared or cooked fresh to order. And dinner, well, it was a bit of a hit or a miss, but overall I thought it was good value for money. Good room aesthetic? Yes, another tick. The bathroom was probably more contemporary than the room style, and I would have preferred a full king-size bed rather than the twins. I'd also have liked a little table on the balcony, but there were only chairs and footrests. The patio doors also needed to be closed in exactly the right spot for the air conditioning to come on, but there's instructions in the room on exactly what to do here. But when you get it, it works perfectly. And these are very minor niggles, and overall the room was bright, spacious and comfortable. So yes, it's another tick. What about trying to get that premium feel without the 5-star price tag? Well, we booked directly with the hotel, and I honestly feel we got good value for money in our deal. I'd describe this hotel as a solid 4-star that met my expectations for a 4-star chain brand hotel. So, yes, it's probably another tick here too. In addition to all the ticks on our wish list, the other great asset this hotel has is its staff. They're a friendly, hard-working bunch and worth a separate mention. And where did the hotel miss the mark? As an all-inclusive guest, you have to wear a wristband akin to a hospital ID tag. Surely there's a better way. Cruise lines manage well with thousands of passengers at a time using a variety of ways to operate within a variety of packages. Barcelo, I think you need to move with the times here. We also felt that the lobby bar could use some sort of separation from the main reception area, maybe with the type of screening they've used to good effect in the main restaurant. Sadly, lighting is often an afterthought when designing these types of spaces, and in this area it's really been very poorly thought out. The lobby bar could be so much more inviting than it actually is, just with some better lighting. And then there's the water aerobics. It happens every few days at the pool and lasts for a full hour and a half or more, with music blasting out the entire time. Even as I'm saying this, I feel like a real killjoy. But let's be clear, I love a bit of loud music when I choose to play it, and I know that it won't disturb anyone else. But it's different when you're trying to relax and you don't choose it for yourself. The class is way too long for a holiday hotel activity, as it's impossible to relax on the pool deck if you're not taking part, and there's only about 10% of participants actually last the full hour and a half or 2-hour session. My advice, if you don't plan to take part, check the board, see when it's on, and venture out the hotel on those mornings. So to round up, this hotel attracts an older crowd who want a solid, middle-of-the-road, reliable offering. It definitely attracts repeat guests, as we saw lots of greeting old friends type exchanges between staff and guests. You won't get super luxury or gourmet food, but if you want a dependable offer that doesn't blow the budget, then I honestly think you won't go wrong booking the Barcelo Corralejo Bay. I reckon I'll be likely to return. You'll usually find me sharing a variety of lifestyle videos here, from travel to home decor, gardening and general lifestyle. I'd love to have you in the tribe, so hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.